What I do now is I generally tend to have a 20-minute conversation before I start recording, and that sort of creates a repertoire that breaks the ice, and we're able to gather a direction of where we want to go. Because every individual has certain things that they're passionate about and certain things that they just might not care about. And I think they're trying to make money, they're trying to build something, and they're continuously failing because I feel like a lot of people are missing meaning with their work and really trying to not being able to look inwards end state. And I'm a capitalist. I love money. I'm just saying money is a byproduct.
Yeah.
You gotta do something for a bigger purpose, and then once you're able to do that or pursue that, money is easy to make. With the wave of AI that's coming in, a lot of people are also scared that it's going to destroy the services industry. I personally think there's going to be a dip in the short term, but I think there's going to be a lot of new opportunities as the cost of entry reduces, and a lot more people are now moving toward technology. And I think people in Pakistan can be a great bridge to service that. I think the world is changing very rapidly, and I think if we keep ourselves in a cocoon, I was in Pakistan for the longest time, and you can definitely be successful in Pakistan. But I think the need of the hour for Pakistanis is to globalize themselves, to start to...
Alright, Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is Ali Farooq again with Open Dallas Conversations. We have a very, very special guest today with us, famous, let's call it, an influencer for Pakistan, Mr. Muzammil. Muzammil, thank you. And welcome to Open Dallas.
Thank you for having me.
Muzammil, we'll have the conversation in English, लेकिन मैं उर्दू में पूछना चाहता हूँ आपको कैसा लग रहा है? कैसा ये environment है?
So I think it's absolutely phenomenal to see so many Pakistanis brought together. And I think जो मेरे लिए सबसे exciting बात है वो ये है कि the amount of substance that I'm seeing in these Pakistanis and the amount of passion that I'm seeing in these Pakistanis is just absolutely phenomenal. And I'm excited to see what comes out of it.
Muzammil, a lot of people know about you, but we'd still like to give you to give us 30 seconds about your background, आपका education background, because I think you're a first year.
I am. So I graduated fast computer science in 2015, and then I worked a couple of years as a data analyst before jumping full time to media. So I've been in the digital media space for the last almost a decade now. I have been running a podcast in Pakistan for the last 5 years.
5 years, mashallah.
And I've spoken to over 500 thought leaders. I've really tried to understand Pakistan के जो structural problems हैं क्या हैं, उसके potential solutions क्या हैं. And I think now that I'm in the US, I'm excited to know more about how Pakistanis out here feel about what we can do back home to make interesting things happen.
And so initially you were in Pakistan and then you moved to, I guess, Atlanta?
Yeah, so I was in Pakistan up until 2022. Then in 23 I moved to Dubai for a couple of years, and I've just recently moved to the US.
Achha.
So now I'm
So
in
how does
Atlanta.
the US look for you, and what are you looking for in US?
So right now, I'll be honest, I'm just in an absorption mission. I'm just trying to meet a lot of Pakistanis, trying to understand this ecosystem, because I can tell you a lot about Pakistan, but the fact is I'm just new here, and I won't claim that I understand it as well as a lot of other Pakistanis. So we'll see what the future holds.
So this platform is really about giving back to people, for people to learn and think through becoming leaders and entrepreneurs, right? What do you have to say about that? Thinking about spending time in Pakistan, some in Dubai, and being here, what is your message? What should people learn from Open?
So I think my biggest top of mind is that I see a lot of people doing a lot of things mindlessly and for the wrong reasons. They're trying to make money, they're trying to build something, and they're continuously failing because I feel like a lot of people are missing meaning with their work and really trying to not being able to look inwards कि यार मैं चाहता क्या हूँ, मैं करना क्या चाहता हूँ, मैं क्या solve करना चाहता हूँ. Because if you're able to connect with that part of your soul, it's very easy to then deal with failures, and failures are an inevitable part of anything that you do. So I think for anyone watching, and generally people who are trying to do something, I would say look inwards and try to find the meaning and purpose of what you want to do, and then convert that into your profession. I think it's much easier to then build products, build startups, or do whatever.
So what you're saying is have clarity.
Yeah.
Have clarity on who you are, what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are.
And why you want to do what you want to do. Like if you're saying it's for money, I feel like that's such a shallow end state. And I'm a capitalist. I love money.
Yeah.
I'm just saying money is a byproduct.
Yeah.
You gotta do something for a bigger purpose, and then once you're able to do that or pursue that, money is easy to make.
Yeah. Do you think Pakistanis have a lot of room to grow and know and learn on towards tech?
I think 100%. I think with what I saw in Pakistan particularly, I think our boom is really just starting. I think we were a very small upper middle class in Pakistan that was exposed to tech and was leveraging that. But in the last 5-7 years particularly, I've seen that go really mainstream. And some of these people coming in from very humble backgrounds have a lot of thirst to do incredible things. And so I think, particularly with the wave of AI that's coming in, a lot of people are also scared that it's going to destroy the services industry. I personally think there's going to be a dip in the short term, but I think there's going to be a lot of new opportunities as the cost of entry reduces, and a lot more people are now moving towards technology. And I think people in Pakistan can be a great bridge to service that. And yeah, so I have a lot of hopes from Pakistan, and I think here overseas Pakistanis will play a foundational role. You can't have Pakistanis just sitting there and being able to do global business. I think overseas Pakistanis are the bridge that understand how the customer in the West works, and then they have the sort of cultural nuance for Pakistanis to connect with. And that's one of the reasons why I'm excited to see a lot of these overseas Pakistanis here as well.
And there's a lot of momentum, like all of them coming together and trying to help each other, because I've not really seen at a Pakistani level these type of conferences. OpenSC was the same, and I went a few months back there. So we want to just keep on the momentum from here. That's my take. Let's pivot a little bit. What is the influencer culture like? Are influencers struggling, thriving in Pakistan? There's so much happening. You just came right from there, right? So what's next for influencers, Pakistani influencers?
I think so. I mean, I think the culture is incredible. It's a huge industry now. I've been there for almost 10, 15 years now. Then there was no money. Now there's a lot of commercialization. There's a lot of brands. A lot of new kids popping up every day if you go to Instagram. So I think that the culture is phenomenal. What I do find as a weakness is the fact that for a lot of other countries, influencers, once they sort of gone mainstream in Pakistan, they have a pathway to then go regional or global. And I think that pathway is missing, where a lot of people peak in Pakistan and they just don't know what to do next. And so I think we need to build a lot more of those bridges, where if someone has performed well in Pakistan, can we as Pakistanis then support them to then come out here or maybe in the Middle East and be more global as voices, because I think that's going to serve Pakistan as Pakistan's soft power as well, and obviously it's going to help them.
Is it a limitation because of being a Pakistani, or is it a limitation because people are not thinking ahead?
I think it's the lack of ecosystem. I think there's no pathway for an average influencer. They don't have the understanding of how to even go about beyond Pakistan, and India has that. India, because of Bollywood, their media was very well structured to catapult their influencers or content creators or anyone in the media to a global scale. I think Pakistan lacks that. I do see a lot of very interesting new creators now who are apni madad aap building those infrastructures.
Sometimes the product, right? So Wide Lens by Abrar, I think everyone talks about it because somehow the product is unique. In Urdu, talking about roaming around the world and people want to see these places. I think sometimes also the idea, right?
Yeah, I think it's the idea, but I think it's also the vision. So I'll give you an example. There's this gentleman called Abbas Bukhari. He's a comedian who's just come out very recently, and he's doing stand-up comedy. It's a tough business to be in Pakistan particularly. But he did a good job. He got a lot of good audiences, and now he's going to London, he's going to Melbourne, he's going to all across the world. But he stayed in Pakistan. Acha, all of those things that he had to do in India, if a comedian pops up, there is an entire platform that is going to take you, they're going to manage ticketing, they're going to manage sales, they're going to manage marketing. Abbas has to do all of that himself. But he's building, he's carving out that space.
So like the way we have startup ecosystem and startup studios, go-to-market, VC, and also the sales capacity, the fractional CROs and CFOs.
That's the infrastructure that's missing for media.
We need the similar also for the influencers. And we're missing both kind of for Pakistanis. Actually, it's not just in the influencer world that we're missing.
100%.
So you interviewed some big people, I've heard as well. When those people are about to come and you're about to, what does it take, to plan and to compose yourself and to be able to come up with the right questions and to leverage? How do you maximize such an interaction?
I think in the first, I've done almost over 500, right? The first 100 required a lot of pre-planning, research and homework. I think if you honestly have those 100 conversations, you have enough of a mind map of how different things work, and then you can just use the same mind map for the next guest. What I do now is I generally tend to have a 20-minute conversation before I start recording, and that sort of creates a repertoire that breaks the ice, and we're able to gather a direction of where we want to go. because every individual has certain things that they're passionate about and certain things that they just might not care about. And I think trying to understand a bit of that allows for having having an easier conversation. A lot of times people assume that the questions are coming in as a pre-structured thing. I think if you approach this as a conversation rather than an interview, it's much easier to then just wing it.
Yeah, just keep it casual and let the people and let them share their story.
Yep.
What's your story overall now? Like in 5 years, where will you see Muzammil Hassan Zaidi?
I think it's difficult to project where I'd be, and I have a fairly good idea of what I'd like to do, but I think what I'm looking at right now is I feel like there's so much changing in the world that I don't think anyone can predict what the world will look like in 5 years. And so, us as a very small node in that entire world, I wouldn't be making any predictions, but I do hope I do sincerely hope I'm doing something that helps Pakistan and definitely helps the young people in Pakistan be more global. I think that's a mission statement that that really speaks to me, and I'm fairly passionate about.
Muzammil, is there any closing message you want to give to the audience? Be it startup leaders, people trying to be founders or VCs or leaders in general, or influencers as well. You've given a little bit of that already, but any closing message? You can look at the camera and
So I think my message would be largely to get out of your comfort zone, to go and explore the world and really expose yourself to different people, different cultures, different ideas. I think the world is changing very rapidly, and I think if we keep ourselves in a cocoon, I was in Pakistan for the longest time, and you can definitely be successful in Pakistan. But I think the need of the hour for Pakistanis is to globalize themselves, to start to think how the world works, how the world thinks. And the only way to do that is be uncomfortable, put yourself in situations that might not be that fun, but help you learn and understand how the world works. And that would be my message.
perfect. Thank you so much, Muzammil. I appreciate it. Thank you, everyone.